Okay guys, you've been through everything. Been through the mines, been everywhere, shot down a load of giant things. I'm not sure how you did that or what the hell they were. I'm quite surprised you managed to get past all the machinery actually. Very surprised. And only one of you died last mission. Very, very well done. So, who's the last opponent going to be? Who is the most powerfulest foe you're going to have to face to get off this accursed planet and venture off into the stars to who knows where and who knows what else? Sorry, what? Oh. Hello! In this video we're going to look at the character and mission creator for Star Saga. This is an expansion that adds a lot more flavour in to the game. Much like the Adventurer's Compendium for Dungeon Saga, this kind of does the same thing. It adds a lot more races, a lot more well, there's not really a class system, is there? But essentially you can sort of like create a character and sort of like theme your character around being a certain class sort of thing, like, I don't know, a sniper or a medic or a assassin or what have you. There's also got multiple different enemies you can face. This goes on the premise you've got some other models from some of Mantic's other sci-fi games, such as Dead Zone or indeed Dreadball, because this does work quite well with Dreadball. But yeah, you will need a fair bit from Dead Zone perhaps for it to work well, mainly in the enemy department. But if you're not really bothered about creating your own missions, then half of this is going to be a bit of a waste. But you do get to create your own characters. There's a lot of ways of doing it, which I'll show you what's in the box right now. Starting with, you actually get 6 mercenaries you can play as. And these are pre-made, although you could use them to make your own. Like any pre-made mercenary in Star Saga, these are mainly examples just to get you to make your own. This one is Cleela, and she's a Teraton, or is he? I think he's a Teraton because it's smaller than a normal one. Pretty techy, got a bit of shooting. Yeah, normally Teratons have got a creamy colour, but yeah, I couldn't resist me mate painting it like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Got a bit of purple on, so you know it's Donatello. Next we have Orion, a robotic mercenary. All about the shooting and some defensive parameters. Got some other stuff, but it's not really there to do much else. This is probably the weakest of the models because, as you can see, it's bending a bit too far down. Also, the rifle looks pretty daft. It just looks like a slab that they've tried to force to make look like a rifle. If this was like sideways on to make it look thinner but taller, then I think it would have looked better than shorter and wider. I don't know, it's just me. I mean, it's a nice robot, but it's something a bit different. Here's Shade, and even though he's got no flesh pieces shown, he is in fact an orc, a sneaky orc, which Don't really see too many of them about, but I'm sure the Marauders have got them. The blade's pointing a bit too far down, but you can sort that out if you so wish. Comes with a pistol. Pretty good actually. Pretty hardy. Don't think it can do tech-based things. It just can't. Next we have Krom, or KR-0M3. Mix of mix of everything really. Not really good in close combat, which to be expected. Got bit of good support abilities, good shooting. Not bad tech either, even though it's got no arms. But hey ho. Yeah, the proper paint scheme's supposed to have these like a light grey colour, but I preferred them to be like force fields, which I think work better myself. Here we have one that's going to be hard to say. Kizai Uru, and is it male or female? Not sure. He's a Tsuchan caterpillar race. You can get these models in Dreadball as a team actually. I'm pretty sure they don't turn into butterflies. Yeah, I'm not sure what all these wiring things are, but yeah, it's very pre-steel. Got some telekinetic abilities, but got a bit of shooting. Not bad defense-wise. Not that great in close combat or tech, so don't really use this one for them purposes. But very original race. And lastly, we have Hund. Now, if you've been playing Dead Zone for long enough, you'll know who Hund is. It's a Rin bounty hunter. Works with the Rebs, but kind of works with anyone. Got 4 arms. Got multitude of different weaponry and equipment on his back. Comes with a rifle and 2 pistols. He's pretty decent. Don't bother using him as tech, as he's pretty poo in that area. Apart from that, he's pretty good. And if you do want to use for Dead Zone, it's a pretty good replacement for the old model. I can't remember what that looks like, but it does look pretty terrible. And there's all the stat cards for each of the mercenaries, and they all act a bit differently from each other. Shan't show you all off close up. Might do another video on all the mercenaries at some point, but we'll see. You also get a plethora of skill cards. A lot of them are universal to the different traits, and about half of them are universal to the different races. So we've got Matsudans, we've got Crystallians, we've got Trins. There's 2 cards for each. Mostly there's a feat and a skill. Sometimes there's 2 feats, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Orcs, Sorak, Vehement, Asterian, Goran, Hobgoblin. Yes, you can be a Hobgoblin. Judwan, Crow, Tshuchan, the caterpillar people, Yindage, Z, Robot, Enforcer. Yes, you can be an Enforcer. Goblin, Sphere, and so on. Pretty much any race you can think of that Mantic's made for their futuristic stuff, you can be, and that's including some of the smaller nameless. And I don't mean the crawlers, I mean like the gunslingers and whatnot. Yeah, so you've got a hell of a lot of choice for skill wise. You also get the basic stat cards for each race. It gives you the stats along the side, the health, if there's any red areas and shields, and any basic abilities that come with. And if you are using the points costs, it's there. Yeah, see, told you there's a nameless. I can see a point of using the points costs. Maybe set it where you have to have a certain points limit. were creating your character, but other than that, I just wouldn't bother too much. You've then got 3 armor type cards, which for creating your character. You've then got all the different traits. There's 6 of them. There's assault, shooting, speed, tactics, survival, and tech. So you create a character and you can have it how you want. Do you want it as a sporty character? Do you want it as offensive shooting? Do you want it as a tech? Do you want it as a close combat guy? You've got options. You also get a lot of different items and rare items. I won't show you all the items and rare items, but you'll know that they come from this expansion because they have this little icon on them. One of the criticisms I have of this is some of the equipment are only for certain races, which the bonuses or abilities they give aren't really that big of a thing. I mean, take this for example, the Dominator rifle. Range weapon, long, fair enough. May reroll 1 die per shooting attack. Considering what else is out there, that's not really that big of a deal. I've got to say, what else have we got? Glue grenade. That's only used for hobgoblins. Don't get it. What else we've got? The portal spinner. Now, that I can understand why that's only used by chorus, because that's a racial thing that they do. I mean, I don't see why the energy gauntlet isn't just for enforcers and humans, because that's the only ones who use it. But there we go. Grenade harness just for hobgoblins. Don't get it. Don't get it at all. I mean, what else have we got? We've got Forge Hammer, which for Forge Fathers. I mean, the Mercenaries. Do they really care how equipment works? I don't think so. There's also nothing on how these are used, but then again, this is mission and character creator, so use them how you want. How I use them is you shuffle these up and then draw 1 out per player at the end of each mission, and then they can buy them. That's how I work it myself. You also get these things, secret objectives. There's quite a few of them. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of them. So there's quite a few. What you do with these is you shuffle these, and then at the start of each mission you give 1. You can get more if you don't complete them between missions, but the more you complete, the more credits you get, I believe, or it's experience. But you do get something separate to everyone else. I mean, I'll just give you one as an example. Access funds. So that's more for you may spend an action at a terminal with no visible effect to your teammates to access the enemy's financial database. Do these 3 turns in a row to complete this objective. Success, 1 victory point, 15 credits. Failure, -2 victory points. So you get less credits. If you fail, you get a hell of a lot less, but you will get extra if you pass. And you also get the victory points are for everyone, and the credits are just for yourself. But if you're making your own missions, it's up to you. It just gives you a bit of an extra flavour to be a bit selfish, as it was. Or it could help the team, depending on what the objective is. You also have a deck of cards for each of the different units you can face. They're not completely recent, but they do have some more recent sort of units involved. But it's a shame that these haven't been updated, but well. There's some that's not in here, like the Nameless and whatnot, because they've got their own expansion. Weirdly enough, some of the Rebs are included, even though they've had their own expansion. But I suppose the Reb Force in the expansion do have different units involved, so I suppose there's that. And yeah, same with the Night Stalkers. The Vehement. but the ones in the expansion work a bit differently than these. These are like fleshy Veermin. The one in the expansion are cybernetic Veermin. Yes, you can face enforcers. You also get Nexus cards, which apply to the races that you're going to be fighting against, and there's 2 of each, and most of them are either level 1, level 2, level 3s, but of course one of the Enforcer ones is an event card. But whatever, there's some that have the artificial Nexus involved. It's nice to have all these options, really is. You get a guide in creating your own missions and characters. Gives you a bit of an introduction with a picture here. There's also what's inside the box, which I've been going through. Then go through character creation, go through all the different steps, which it's more in depth than they think. Gives through a example and uses one of these MVPs from Dreadball, and it really looks like it works for Dungeon Saga, sorry, Star Saga, and Dead Zone for that matter. We'll go over her separately, which you'll see why. You've then got how secret objectives work. You've then got some background on all the mercenaries included in this box. You've then got customizing missions and creating your own, setting narratives and whatnot, and you know how it should play out, why are they doing it, what the opposition is, why are they there, and you know, so on. And then some more on the back just helping you out. You then get a blank pad of character sheets to create your own characters. These are a bit small, but they are about the same size as the pre-done characters. I would have liked them to be a bit bigger because the amount of stuff on here ain't big enough. I suppose you're supposed to play with points values, but come on, really they should be a fair bit bigger in my opinion. They're nicely detailed and you can put the numbers and whatnot in fairly decently. Although, like I said, I would have liked to have a bit more room. There's a fair number in here, so you can do a fair few. Plus, if you're careful enough, you can reuse them. It's a nice inclusion, I think. And finally, saving the best till last, we have the blank mission book. This, I've not used this, but this is amazing. This is basically here to put your own missions down, write all the details in and whatnot, or I suppose for players to put it in like a journal. And then there's a blank map. Just because this is brilliant. If you know what you're doing with it, you could just use this to your heart's content. I think you do up to 6 of these, so you can do like a little campaign, which is brilliant. Didn't have to include this, but yeah, I really like it, just having all the different look at this, it's really Hero Questy. So that's the character and mission creator expansion. Really good. And the main reason I ain't covering Dungeon Saga. Look, the thing is with Dungeon Saga is it is a good game, no doubt about it. But the problem is when you come to creating your own characters, they can be too powerful, especially if you're using wizards. Using especially the Fire School of Magic, it's just basically the one win button really. And if you've got a paladin and a warrior and a mix of them, you're just on easy street. The bard, the talking fish spell is ridiculous. All the other classes is absolutely pointless because a ranger doesn't really do all that much. And the stock characters in Dungeon Saga are pretty bland. It needs a lot of updating, and I hope someday Mantic will do a second edition because it really needs it. It's a bad game. It's just very, very outclassed by this in near enough every way, shape and form. The only way I say Dungeon Saga is superior is the amount of different enemy types you could pick from. But apart from that, it's got nothing on this, as far as I'm concerned. This expansion retails between, I believe, 25 and 45 quid, depending on where you get it from. Of course, I will pick it up just for the characters alone. You've got a lot of choice here, and I think it's one of the best character creators so far to get. So, with that, that's it for this video. Goodbye for now. Well, I really don't know what I was expecting, but god damn, you guys suck.